people. This is Queen Aishah, and thank you so much for joining me for another dope episode of I Know Dope People. And remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share. And Aishah is spelled Aishah. If you're watching me, you know where to find me. So we're going to start off with Queen's Quickies. And I don't know if you heard, but Rihanna has made her first performance in a place we would not have expected her to do her first return to live performance after the Super Bowl and having her second baby. She did a private wedding in India to the wealthiest man in Asia. Okay, he is the owner of Reliance Industries. His son, I'm gonna apologize in advance because I already know I'm gonna chop y'all names up. So the wealthiest man in Asia, if you need to know, his name is Mukesh Ambani. I need to know his name because I might need a loan. No, that's his son. His name is Anand Ambani, and the fiance, well, the wife, her name is Rahika Merchant. They got married last weekend, and Rihanna shut it down. It was like 1,000 guests. I think they just had like an extravaganza of different things going on for the weekend, and she did a performance, and of course, you know, she rocked out. This is what I heard. This is the word on the India streets, that they had like 500 different dishes. That's a lot of food. Over 1,000 guests, and plenty of people with money were there. Some of the people that were there were Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, to name a few of the people that we would know that are Americans. Now, they said it was 130 flights across India and internationally of guests that came to the wedding. They're balling. What do you give? What gifts do you give like the richest son, the richest man in Asia's son and his new wife? What type of gift you give them? I'm glad I wasn't invited. And give it up for Andre 3000 of Outkast. He has a solo album out that he released a few months ago called New Blue Sun. He's been touring and getting great reviews. He just did a performance here at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia, and he will be headlining the awesome, very popular Atlanta Jazz Festival Memorial Weekend, May 25th through 27th. And I don't know if y'all know, Lauryn Hill's 22-year-old son, YG Marley, he is also the grandson of Bob Marley. He is getting major success with his single debut of Praise Jah in the Moonlight. He released it in December, and he peaked on the Billboard 100, Billboard Hot 100 last month at 34, 35. So he killing them streets. And I actually saw him perform on the Tom Joyner cruise last year with his mom. He's really, really good. A lot of energy, just the accent. I'm like, he Jamaican for serious. We want to give photo credits to Jason Berger of Getty Images and Creators Incorporated. All right. Now, it is Women History Month. So in case y'all ain't know, it's about the women every day, but especially in March. Okay. So let me share some women history knowledge with you. In the 1930s and 40s, Sister Rosetta Tharpe was one of the first people to combine gospel music with melody-driven urban blues, traditional folk, and unique pulsating swing styles. Today, Tharpe's music style is considered one of the first definite precursors to rock and roll. So it wasn't who y'all thought it was. Okay, get it right. And happy birthday shout outs for March. My niece Naya, her birthday is this Saturday. Shout out to cousin Beverly Austin, my girl JT Taylor, and Dr. Paz. Oh, and don't forget Evelyn Clark. She had a birthday on yesterday. And let me share Queen Aishah's inspirational soul food. And it's a woman, okay? Wisdom is higher than a fool can reach. Wisdom is higher than a fool can reach. And that is by Phyllis Wheatley, who was an enslaved woman and became the first African-American woman to publish a book of poetry. Okay, y'all better get y'all knowledge. Y'all getting y'all Black history and y'all woman history. Okay, we are pouring it into you. Okay, and today's guest is Ayanna Gregory. She's the daughter of the struggle, the baby girl of Richard Dick Gregory and Mama Lillian Gregory. She is one of 10 children. She is an awesome songstress. writer, dramatist, educator, activist, Ayanna stands as a beautiful continuum of Gregory's legacy. She is committed to creating safe and innovative spaces for healing. She travels the globe using her music, using her music for meditation and her healing songs for activism and to build self-esteem. Let me tell you how me and Ayanna met. So her talent, her music precedes her. So we actually met at Busy Bee Juanita Britton's. If you're from the Washington, D.C. area, you know Juanita Britton. She does everything, okay? She had her 50th birthday celebration. I think it was like in 2006 or something. When Ayanna comes on, she'll correct me. And it was at the Boys and Girls Club in Southeast Washington, D.C. Ayanna was performing with Free, and I was doing the red carpet for the event. And we connected, but we probably ran into each other, previously throughout the DC streets because being involved with the same circles. However, I am a part of First Sundays, which was founded by Mama Lucina and Mama Janice. This is every first Sunday. We get together for meditation, prayer, upliftment, where you are seen and heard as your individual self, and everybody in the village and community just pours into you, and we do this meditation. So one day we were in there meditating, and Phoenix, Ayanna's song came on. I'm gonna see if she'll sing a little bit for us today. And the tears poured from my eyes. I was like, oh my God, who is this? Because the tone of her voice, the words, they're so healing and inspiring. And it's like, she just puts you back into alignment, reminds me of who I am and where I'm supposed to be. Like, she is the dopest, to me, one of the dopest songstress. The passion that she has in her music, in her lyrics, just blows me away. I'd be like, why are you in my business? Like, she got this song now. I'm telling you, if you go anywhere where they sell music and pull up Ayanna Gregory, her music is going to change your life. That's for men and women. Okay, so please welcome my sister friend, my little sister, big sister, Miss Ayanna Gregory.
Queen Aishah. Hey, Mama.
Ayanna, greetings, sister. Peace and richest blessings. How you doing?
I received all of that and sent it right back. I'm good. I'm wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for your yes.
Yes,
Thank you for
ma'am.
your patience. We were having some little delays today, but greatness. Sometimes you gotta hold it back. People's calling. They was like, "Where you at? Y'all coming on the what?
We coming. Hold tight. We coming.
So, yes. So thank you. So how is Mama Lillian and Papa Richard, Dick Gregory's baby girl doing?
I'm well. I'm really good. Speaking of both of them, my younger brother Johanse and I just got back from Selma. We were there for the Selma Jubilee Bridge crossing, the 59th anniversary of Bloody
59.
Sunday, which is, has so much to do with our right to vote, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And so, everybody knows my father, the world knew him, knows him. And not as many with my mom, but in Selma, they know my mama because she was marching for voting rights in Selma. And I can't remember if it was 64, 65, but she was pregnant with my twin sisters, Satori and Paula. And as the story goes, she was gonna get out of jail the day after she got in because she was Dick Gregory's wife. But she said, well, is everybody going to get out? And they said, no, just you. She said, oh, no, I'm good. So she stayed in jail 2 weeks later for 2 weeks until everybody got to go. So Mama's good. Daddy and ancestors good. And they're just, we've just been so blessed. So coming back from Selma, Johanse and I, we feel all that love around us. So much love that we get, just through osmosis because of the two of them, because of their sacrifice, because of what they built. And, all of our older, Johanse and I are the babies of the family. So there's 8 above us. So we're just grateful. Look at Mom and Dad. Oh, child.
And you look just like your mama.
Thank you.
You look like your mommy, and she is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous,
My
gorgeous,
mama's
gorgeous.
good. She's 86. She'll be 87 this
Wow.
year, and she's kicking it. She's having fun.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
So I'm just so grateful for you. Yeah. So first of all, let me tell you happy belated birthday. So you're an Aquarius child. And
Actually, I'm a
are you
Libra.
Aquarius? Really?
I'm
So what?
October.
You're October. So your dad is a Libra too, right?
He's a Libra too.
Wow.
But
So we
I
might be
received the, I
balanced.
mean, we're
All
in the
right,
age of
right.
Aquarius, so I received that all that
Okay, okay.
Aquarian
So I just
energy.
gave you a birthday last month, so we just gonna celebrate because we can. So I don't know why I thought that you were Aquarius. Okay, but
When is your birthday?
I'm November 29th. I'm a straight up Sagittarius.
Ooh, mommy's a Sagittarius. I love the Sag.
Honey,
That's
we
Sag
fire
in me.
everywhere.
Y'all
Fire,
fire.
fire,
And
fire.
y'all
But I'm
loyal.
fire
Yeah, I love me some
for real,
Sagittarian.
for real.
So
Like I am, and I'm
I mess with
Sagittarius
y'all.
in everything.
I feel that. I can see that.
Like
I mess with y'all.
everything is Sag.
I
Everything is
mess with
Sag.
y'all.
Yes. So Ayanna Gregory. Ayanna means beautiful flower, and that was the
Yes,
name
it
of your
does.
first album that came out in 2003. So I'm sure you named it Beautiful Flower to honor yourself.
I sure did. I sure did.
So you're getting all into your business. So tell us how, first of all, how did you get into music? I mean, your dad is an entertainer, but why music, singing?
Um, Music was always a love. And honestly, it wasn't anything that I thought I was going to get into professionally. As
Mm-hmm,
a child, I just loved to sing. And
mm-hmm,
you know how we do in the black families, the family
mm-hmm.
reunions, anytime they gather, come on, little baby, come
Right.
on, baby Ayanna, come on, little, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
singing songs from The Wiz or
Right.
whatever black musical came out.
Singing songs from Car Wash.
Exactly, exactly. So, it was like I knew I could sing. I loved to sing. I
Mm-hmm,
had no idea I was going to pursue it professionally.
mm-hmm.
I went to Howard University. I studied sociology, African studies. If I had known, I would have been in the fine arts department. Baby, I had no idea. And then it just kind of hit me over the head like it ain't got to be that deep. Do what you love. What you love is going to allow you to do all the things you want to do as an activist, as an educator, as because I'm going into the scholarship of
Mm-hmm.
African studies and psychology and sociology, and it's like, baby, music carries all of that. And so it
Mm.
wasn't until I got out of college, I was working in the DC public, in the DCPS schools, and I started one job I had. I was working at an after school program
Mm-hmm.
for some teenagers. And
Mm-hmm.
we just trying to wrestle with that age range. You know how it
Mm-hmm.
go. And they don't want to listen to nobody and you can't tell them
Mm-hmm.
nothing. And so we're trying to, do some classes with them. And I just remember at one point they always had their headphones on, always in their
Mm-hmm.
music. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, man, we trying to get them to take the headphones off, but what if I could get inside the headphones? And then it dawned on me,
That's dope.
you going in the wrong direction. You trying to make it too difficult for yourself. Do
Mm-hmm.
what you love and that you are naturally good at, and
Mm-hmm.
allow that to be your vessel to teach, to activate, to inspire. And then it's just from there, I started working on. They were my guinea pigs because Beautiful Flower was written while the young people at where was I working at? Oh God, it's drawing a blank. Martha's Table on 14th Street
Yes,
on
yes,
on
yes.
in North on Northwest. The
Mm-hmm.
teens, they were, as I'm writing, I had them in mind, and I was like,
Wow.
you got an issue with what they listen to, or why don't you write something that they would like
Mm-hmm.
that's uplifting them? And so that's how it started.
Yeah, and you have an album. You actually have an album for children with children.
Yes, I
That's
Dream a World. I have a children's
yep,
album. Yes.
yep, yep, yep. So yeah, that's really, really, really dope. So here's the thing. So how we met? Do you remember how we met, Ayana?
Girl, I did see. Let me tell you something about this postmenopause memory.
Girl, you post. I'm prepared. I'm a baby. I'm Perry.
Lord, I went through it early. But so as you were talking, I was like, oh, that's right. Talk about it. I was like,
Yeah,
that's right. We did meet.
yeah,
It was at Busy Bee
yeah.
celebration. Oh
I
my
was geeked. I was geeked. I was like, oh my god, it's Ayana Gregory. Because like this is my prayer book for first Sunday. When Mama Lucina and Mama Janice was on, they were like, they couldn't believe all of the information. They said, Aisha, I always saw you writing. So I know I have it here the
Wow.
day that I heard your song.
That's
I know I
amazing.
have it. I know I have it in here, right? So when I met you, I was just like, Like your song and my girlfriend Fatima Lowe, we met in 5th grade together, and she sings. She lives in Los Angeles. Your music is just like it just hits right. It's like it gives me the words that I can't find. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's just so beautiful. Remember during the pandemic, I text you. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just pandemic, and I said, Ayanna, ain't nothing wrong, but I just want to let you know that when I die, if you still living, I need you to sing at my funeral.
Lord have mercy.
So I had to
Wait
start.
a minute.
Look, I was like, ain't nothing wrong. I'm
Ain't
good.
nothing
But I just,
wrong to get that
I
out the
probably
way.
listened to your song, and you came. I was just because you're always light and
Mm.
fun and peaceful. You know, it's like we always got that rah rah rah, but it's just like you just flow, and I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love that about you. So tell us, how was it growing up as a Gregory kid?
Ooh.
Was your dad strict? Was he funny in the house? May he rest in peace. We are speaking of Papa Dick Gregory today.
It was wild in them, wild in 'em. Every day you didn't know what was finna go down. No, there was
Wow.
so many elements of it. There's so many different compartments. So it's almost
Mhm.
like, okay, how do I answer this question? So, whew, so when so we were all born, except for my sister Michelle was born in St. Louis, but the rest of us were born in Chicago. In
Okay.
1973, when I was 2, Daddy decided, nah, we getting out the city. I got to get them out the city. And he had the bright idea to raise us on 300 acres. So he was going to raise these nature babies out in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So there was that. So the physical environment was really quite beautiful. We grew up in nature. We grew up,
Mhm.
we really didn't, outside of like one neighbor, it was just us for as far as the eye could see, and the
Mhm.
house was built on a lake. My mom, they said that when we got there, my mother cried on sight because she was like, oh Lord, all these non-swimming
Oh.
black children about to drown in this lake. What in the world? Why are we here? What is we doing? But so there was that, so it was very spiritual. My father always said, I mean, my brother Johanse says, people talk about, okay, your father was all these things. He was a comedian and an activist and a health guru. And he
Mhm.
said more than anything, he was a spiritual master. So he
Mm.
understood raising us on the high vibrational
Yes.
land. We were
Yes.
off the grid. That was intentional. We didn't have
Mm.
no TV.
Mm.
We weren't allowed to eat meat and dairy products and sugar and white bread. And I ain't saying there wasn't no sneaking going on, but I'm just saying, we wasn't allowed to eat it.
Right.
So,
In the
and there's some
house. In the
funny stories around that too, trying to, hide shit and wait a minute, where you? I remember one time we was in New York City. We were staying at the Howard Johnson Hotel. This must have been in the
Howard
80s.
Johnson used to be the bomb in the 80s.
Come on, you know
What?
what I'm saying?
That
You know what
was
I'm saying?
a
They
place
don't know about the Howard Johnson
everywhere.
Hotel back in the 80s. So we were in the Howard
Yes.
Johnson Hotel. And so, we be trying to time things out. Like, all right, when is he
Right.
leaving? When are we ordering the pizza? It's
Mm-hmm.
like we had contraband. It was like if you would listen to us, you would have thought we was ordering, hard, that we were, preparing to pay for some hard drugs or something. And
Because you had to plan it out.
we had to plan it out. All right, when he leaves, we're gonna order the pizza. Who gonna get the chocolate layer cake?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he was slick with it. He was slick. So he left. He came right back around the time that he probably thought something would have been ordered.
Right.
So hey, look, somebody out on the fire escape with the pizza, fighting for their life, holding that pizza, fighting for their life. Like, Lord, he comes inside. They're like, hurry, quick. Somebody runs outside on the fire escape with the pizza. Somebody else took the cake, put it inside the bathtub, and shut the curtain. And first place he walked in was the bathroom. We were like, damn, he gonna shut the whole weekend down,
Oh.
Lord. Um, but the stories, the stories, the stories. So it was just so many layers. There was the spiritual, beautiful elements of our upbringing, and
Mhm.
then there was the scary parts. I mean, our phones were tapped. We knew the government did not like our dad. There were
Mhm.
assassination attempts on his life. Not in front of us, but
Right.
there was that aspect. So there were always these whisperings.
Mhm.
There were always these things that were bigger than us and bigger than life. Like
Mhm.
what they do to listen to eavesdrop on a conversation. We be like, My father would be on the phone. You don't know who he's talking to. He'd be talking. He could be talking to a prime minister, a president. He could be talking to, a scientist behind the scenes, because people understood that he would break the news. He was brave enough to break the news that no one else would break. So experts and scientists and historians and scholars around the world who would say nobody will believe us, they would go to him. And so a lot of times we'd be listening, eavesdropping on the side of the stairs while he's talking, or cussing somebody out, because you ain't had a good cuss out unless you done been cussed out by Dick Gregory.
Let me tell you, and I'm gonna tell you about when he half side cussed me out, and honey, I pulled myself together. You hear me? But it wasn't it was my show. It was my inaugural Funny and Stiletto show, and he was at the Washington Convention Center in DC talking about the Bahamian diet and about to run across the country again. At how old was he then? Like in his 80s, I think. That was in 2014, 15, something around then. So he was about to leave, and I went up to him, "Hey, Papa Dick Gregory, I want to give you a flyer to my show." Yo, on fight. He shut it down. I stood there like, I stood there like my mouth just dropped.
Lord have mercy.
And the flyer, you give me no flyer? My number is in the yellow pages. I was like this.
Lord.
This is what I said. I said, well, I was going to reach out to Ayanna and ask her to invite you. I said, but since I saw you here, so he changed. He was like, I understand. Because as a comedian, he was like, I used to do this too. By the time my feelings was hurt. But guess what? But later on, I said, I felt so blessed. Dick Gregory read me. You know what I'm saying? I said, he read me.
That's a blessing.
The thing. When we did our show at Crampton Auditorium, when it was V-Day DC, when he came to see you, I was the mistress of ceremonies. Remember? I was the mistress of ceremonies, and President Barack Obama was and I was doing all my jokes about Barack Obama and Michelle and being in the White House and all. He came up to me and he said, "You were outstanding." I was full. When I tell you, I was so filled, and I still get filled. Let me explain something to you. I still got this was that night.
Oh, that was that night. Oh my God.
That was that night. I got a green light out of it.
Yeah. My Lord. Look at that. Oh, look at y'all. What a blessing.
Yes. This picture hangs in my house. Do you hear me?
That is such a blessing.
In my house. And I purchased this book. I ain't gonna tell you when I got this Cooking with Mother Nature book.
Oh yeah.
You know, online this book is like $400 someplace. After he passed, may he rest in peace, they was just trying to sell his stuff, but he has so much information online now. It's so much footage from the 70s, just video that people are putting up with knowledge, things he spoke about way back that we're now seeing come to fruition, and he be breaking it, down, Lord. And he be dead ass serious. And if y'all have never seen Dick Gregory, you won't now, live perform. He come up there with all his newspapers, Ayanna.
Come on now.
And he be going through those papers.
Come on now.
And let me tell you, the Riot Act, that's where I had my first Funny and Stilettos. He would just come there, like sometimes I would be there for different shows and he would hang out. And let me tell you something, this is when a man said, I have fought for you niggas. And I would say something about my outfit. He had on some khaki shorts, some black dress socks, and some dress shoes. He crosses, and I don't even think you remember me. I teased you. I was like, I'm just walking out in the streets like that. He crosses.
He's talking about, I wish a nigga would.
Thank you. And he crossed his, enjoyed his damn self. Right. Say something, mother. Please. Yes. And that night, I believe that was the night Eddie Griffin was there. And we were in the green room, and it was like being in a living room. Wow. And he just started talking and sharing information. I mean, I was cool, but I was just like this. He was so like to speak to everybody, real regular, and he started talking about Malcolm X. About Malcolm X was in jail. He said he read the dictionary. And your father said, now, Malcolm, why would you want to read the dictionary? Why you need all that information? It's like, why you want stuff in your head that you don't even need? But it was so powerful because when you look at it today, but I guess Malcolm said I ain't got nothing else to do. But when you look at it today, we taking so much stuff that has nothing to do with us, doesn't pertain to us, and we can just let it go and release it. And that's basically what he's saying. Why are we taking on all this stuff that we don't even need? But to be in there that night, he was just so cool. So I can be like, yo, I sat at the feet of Dick Gregory. He told me that I am outstanding. And I got my picture.
Come on now. Come on now. I love it.
And his daughter, my big sister, kind of sort of maybe little sister.
I love it. Exactly.
Yeah, so that is just amazing. And it's 10 of y'all. 10.
Yep. There, I should, I would always say 10, but really I try to do a better job of telling a more complete story. There are 11 of us.
Okay.
And there was a child, Richard, who was my father's namesake, baby Richard, who died as a baby. And, he was much older than me, so I would have never have met him. But there's a very powerful story that my father shares around the death of Richard, which happened right around the time as the death of Medgar Evers, and a spiritual connection that he felt. That's another story. But so we acknowledge Richard.
Everybody.
He's our brother. We acknowledge all of them. But in terms of who my mother and father raised 10 of us, 7 girls, 3 boys, and it was never a dull moment. I tell you that.
Yeah, and it's 6 of us. So I can only imagine. Yes, it's 6 of us, 3 boys, 3 girls. I'm the first girl.
Ooh.
Aisha.
Oh, so you was running things. You the first. You're the first
girl.
Oh,
girl after 4 boys, right? So my brother Samad, who was from my dad's first marriage. So when my dad and mom got together, they don't do step, not everybody, right?
That's right.
So I was the first girl. So my dad had a birth announcement made. Do not disturb the star while she's sleeping. All of that, like. I'm like, I'm Aisha. My name means first life, beloved, and prosperous. Let's
come on now. Say that. Say that.
Every time I meet someone, they say, my daughter named Aisha. My name Aisha. First thing I say, do you know what your name means? You better step into it.
Can you tell me the meaning again? Can you say that again?
First life, beloved, and prosperous. The Prophet Muhammad's youngest, 3rd favorite wife, but they said you ain't supposed to say that.
Anyway.
Right, and I have the book Aisha. So many people don't spell their names, the ones that I've met, don't spell it the way I spell mine, with an H on it.
Right.
My mother be like, I don't even know why I put that H on the end. Because when I was in high school, I was leaving the H off. She said, I didn't know how to spell my name. I said, why is Geraldine tripping? I'm trying to get through this schoolwork.
See.
So I understand. So you come from a family where they fed you healthy. We grew up in a nation of Islam. They fed us healthy. I told people I am 53 and I was breastfed. So I know I have a lot more blessings from breastfed milk in me.
Yes, indeed. Oh, it's the truth.
And beans, a lot of beans.
A lot. I repeat, a lot of beans.
A lot of beans.
Yes.
Okay, my mother sends me beans. Let somebody go up to Maryland. She be like, Aisha, I got a bag of beans for you. Okay.
A bag of beans.
No, for real. My mother be like, I'm freezing this. If she got some, I'm gonna freeze this until you come. I'm like, mommy, I don't need no beans. Nothing you put in the freezer may be good. But that's that old school.
That's that old school.
They fed you differently.
Oh, they sure did.
Table and ate your food.
What'd you say?
Sat at the table and ate your food.
Yes, you did. You sat at the table.
Was a treat. McDonald's, what? A treat. That's why I be catching up now. Because my mother, you couldn't bring it in the house.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You couldn't bring it in the house. So have you ever thought about doing comedy? Stand up?
Oh my God. Aisha, I am not funny. I am not funny. My good girlfriend, who is also a singer, Wayna.
Okay.
She has been pressing me out to get into stand-up comedy, and she's really like stretched herself to do things that were out of her comfort zone. And she's done, the improv, and she's done some stuff with comedy.
The name sounds familiar. If I see her,
yeah, she's incredible, amazing artist.
Okay, I probably know her.
Ethiopian American, born and raised here. I don't know. Well, I don't think she was born here, but she was raised here. Yeah. And so she's like, Ayanna, you need to do this. And so for me, I'm like, I'm not funny now. Of course. I mean, I feel like, all Black folk, we be funny on some level behind closed doors, just because of the
Right.
rhythm that we come up in,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But standing flat footed on stage, girl, what is that like? What is the feeling? What is? I mean,
So it's so funny because I don't
well,
drink or
you're
smoke.
funny. You just naturally funny, so you
Thank
good.
you. I don't drink or smoke, so I feel everything. Right. So you're talking about 28 years as a comedian. I still get nervous, but I kind of know how to place it now. You
Okay.
know, so you still go like a lot of times I'll come on stage to dance because that's moving the energy. A lot of people
Okay.
don't understand that. You know, you don't understand if you dance, you're moving it, you know.
Right.
So but it's something, and I say to like people that smoke, drink, or whatever, if they've never gone to the stage without any of that, it's a whole different experience. A whole
Mm.
different experience because you are truly present. You know what I'm saying? You are feeling and seeing everything that there is to feel and see. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
are tuned in like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a beautiful thing, but it can be intimidating. You know, when you're
Okay.
first starting out, it can be intimidating. Also, depending on the size of the room, what's going on. So you got to really be ready, you
Okay.
know? So, yes. So, none of your siblings do comedy or
No, but
try?
they funny as hell. They are funny as hell, and you know, and they're one of them decided to do anything like that. But I'm just like some things I don't like to keep to myself. I'm like, look, y'all. So I mean, and they're funny in different ways. Some are
Right.
funny, not like my dad at all. You know,
Mhm,
more like on
mhm,
my mom's side. You know,
mhm,
because we come from a family on my mom's side. We just laughed at everything, everything. You
mhm,
know, country, just
mhm.
cutting up. You know, laughing at the wrong things, laughing at the inappropriate times. We were that family, you know, didn't have no good sense, no good manners.
Hmm. Where's
But
your
I
mother
mean,
from?
what'd you say?
Where's your mom from? Your dad is from St. Louis. Is your mom from St. Louis
So my
also?
mom's parents are from Louisiana, but my parents, I mean, but her parents are from Louisiana, but mom and her family, they grew up in Ohio.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, they grew up in Ohio. They grew up in Willard, Ohio. And
okay.
so, you know, yeah, so they were just all it was laughter was just such a huge part. I mean,
Mhm.
even right now, if you were to ask my mom to tell some stories, she'll be crying, laughing,
Get
barely
it
getting
out.
the words out, you know, as because they were sure, you know, preachers' kids. So they was always
Oh,
cutting
wow.
up, having to be asked to leave. And then you know the shoulders, like when you laughing and you're not supposed to be laughing, and then them shoulders get to shaking because you're trying to. And then my mom would say the children, step outside, step out. And then mama just then she go into imitating the preachers and you know,
Oh,
so that
wow.
is the
So
type
she'll
of
say,
humor
she'll
we
cut
have.
up. She'll cut
Cutting
up.
up, cutting up, straight cutting up.
So
They
how
called
did
my
your
mom Reverend Thunderbird.
I wonder
And they would have got their asses whooped if the adults had seen them, but they would be preaching so good. They was playing. And one
wow.
time my uncle, one of my great uncles who was, you know, drank a lot, he said, y'all shouldn't be doing that. Y'all shouldn't be doing that. Y'all should be playing like that. Look, my mama, Reverend Thunderbird preached so good, he caught the spirit. He said, oh, I said, wait a minute now. Come on, Reverend Thunderbird. Come on, Rev. Come on, Rev.
So how did your
So
parents meet? In the
they
St. Louis
met in
movement?
Chicago. Oh, my
Okay.
mama loved to tell that story.
Okay. Okay.
Daddy
What do you
was
call your mother?
performing at the Esquire Club,
Okay. Okay.
Black Club in Chicago, and
Mm-hmm.
at that time, you know, I mean, he was, you know, trying to rub two nickels together, trying to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
He was there was like a different shows going on, and he would host and he would do his little comedy in between. He'd
Right.
sing a song, he'd play the bongos, you know what I mean? So you know they didn't really take his comedy that
Right.
serious at that time if he got to sing songs and play the bongos too.
Right. Right.
And so my mom, he was funny. The man was just funny. And so mom, she was working as a secretary at the University of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and her and my aunt Ida, I mean not Ida,
Ida beat
Martha.
kids. A name like Ida, she was whooping kids' ass.
Oh, you know what? And
Ida
Ida,
Geraldine, they
you
beat
know
their ass.
Ida
Lillian,
Geraldine.
they fight. They don't beat their kids. They fight their asses.
You know what? I must have the one Aunt Ida that don't. My Aunt Ida, I do have an Aunt Ida. She's 102 and
Oh, bless
kicking
her
it,
heart.
hunty. Yeah,
Wow.
love me some Aunt Ida. But
Mhm.
my Aunt Martha, who was living in Chicago with mom at the time, they went together. They went with maybe like a coworker of theirs, and
Mhm.
you know, mom was like, "Who is this? Who is this young brother?" And so he came over to the table and was like, "Oh, what are you ladies doing here? What y'all
Mhm.
do?" And
Being
they said,
a
"Oh,
divine comedian.
you know what I'm saying? We secretaries at the University of Chicago, and he's like, oh,
Mhm.
well, you're secretary at the university. Okay, so maybe someday you could, type up some of my lines. I said, oh,
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
right, Richard
Okay.
Claxton. All right, Richard. So he got that number. He get that number. You get that number.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And mommy was a ride or die. Turns out mama was a ride or die.
Because
You
she is
know,
Sagittarius. That's
because
how
she was Sag. Oh, yes,
we like
honey.
what you say. We can be sweet. Then we be like, what happened? Raise up.
They get ready.
Uh,
Oh, my
That's
God.
dope. That is
Mhm.
dope. That's dope. So you okay? So your siblings, are any of them also in activism?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. I mean,
and I
honestly,
would think right, right,
all of us, and I'll say all of us by default, I mean,
right.
by choice too, but
To
all of
stay in a
us.
house to live, that was your rent.
I'm baby. Exactly. Which you getting, oh, you don't want to pick it today? You not ready to go to march and go to jail today? Let's pick it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we've been marching and demonstrating and getting arrested for for fighting for what's right since
Right.
coming out the womb. Now me, I got to tell the truth. I always said I'm the only one that never got arrested, and I wanted to. I was like a badge of honor. Like I want to go to jail for the right thing. Now, for the right thing. I ain't trying to rob nobody. Uh, but you know what I'm saying. But my sister Satori gently reminded me, no, I didn't either. She said I wasn't fooling with them jails like that. No. So,
I got arrested one time, but it wasn't for protesting.
okay, all right.
And that's another story. Y'all not gonna judge me. I'll tell you, I don't have no problem telling it. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, bottom line. But I really think it was karma because I was in the supermarket eating a cheese that I hadn't paid for.
With the cheese, with the
Mhm.
cheese,
And it came
Lord,
right back. Honey, that ain't
Lord,
that.
Lord, Lord.
The cheese. I'm a cheeseaholic. That's why I put it in my house like that.
I understand.
Yes. So tell me, Ayanna, what projects are you working on? Because you're very involved right now with all that's going on in Hamas and all. So you're really involved in posting. You've been protesting about that for months now.
I have, and I've really, and one is just, I mean, I will never be the same.
Mhm.
I mean, we are literally watching in real time the genocide of the Palestinian people in front of our eyes.
Mhm.
Genocide is not new.
Mhm.
Watching it on our smartphones
Mhm.
is brand motherfucking new. So how can you be the same on the other side? How
Mhm.
can you not
Mhm.
move on something, use your voice in some way when you see this? Because to me, it's not, I mean, one, in and of itself, it should be front and center. On
Mhm.
top of the fact that at the root of this is white supremacy. And
Mhm.
so anything that works to bring white supremacy down is a step in the right direction and is a support to every other thing and
Mhm.
people on the planet who need freedom. You know what I'm saying? I said the energy that we're putting into Palestine is going to also is inextricably connected to the energy that we need to put into freeing Congo and attention that we need to bring to all of the multi corporations and Western nations who have
Mhm.
raped Africa for centuries, you
Mhm.
know, galore.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, okay, if you have a smartphone, you have a laptop. Well, you owe a lot to the Congo. And so
Mhm.
my thing is like, no, we're not going to get rid of our cell phones. That's not realistic. But what are we going to do
Mhm.
um, to help in the genocide that's happening there at the hands of ultimately white supremacy at the end of white greed?
Mhm.
And, so my thing is, there's just so many lies that are told. And some people are like, well, why should, like with Palestine, well, why should Black people care? Or even Congo, like, well, we got issues right here in DC. And it's all connected. The same, one, the money that we need in communities, especially in Black and brown communities that are not getting what they really need, not getting the resources, which is directly tied to, crime and mass incarceration. It's a game they play, and they know it. They know they create the problem, and then they're going to see the effect. And there's all kinds of ways that they make money off of us being locked up, off of us being sick. You already know. And so we know that that Israel trains many of the police officers, United States police officers, are trained in Israel. We know that our tax-paying money is being sent to Israel, to the bombs that are killing and ripping apart whole human beings by the tens of thousands. And it's been not just since October 7th. That's why I don't even utter the word Hamas, because my thing is, I think killing of any kind, I don't care who it is, if it's an Israeli live, it's a Palestinian live, it's whoever. But the problem is they want to make it seem like this 75-year occupation is about Hamas, and it's like it has nothing to do with that. Israel don't care about its own citizens. It doesn't care about its own hostages. So my thing is, we get to just lean into our humanity. If you're afraid to say ceasefire because you're going to lose money, because you're going to lose your job, because you already know something's wrong. You can't say ceasefire. I mean, how benign and basic is saying, I don't want anybody to die. How basic is that? But for us to be feeling like, oh, I can't tell you how many people told me, oh, you better be careful. I'm just like, I wish I would. I wish I would be afraid to speak on behalf of a people. And that's the thing too, Aisha. People always want to talk about what they would have done. Well, whether it was the Jewish Holocaust or the African Holocaust. Well, because whatever you're doing now is what you would have done. Period. And that's not a judgment, it's just real. And I'm talking to myself too. It's just real. And so I'm just like, when you see inhumanity happen, and I'm not just talking about in Palestine, I'm talking about homelessness, it could be child trafficking, it could be police brutality. But if you see it and you coexist with it, and you just get to a point where, like so many of us, was just like, oh, it's just, that takes something away from our own humanity. When we no longer react the way a child would react. The first time a child would see something, homelessness, they say, wait a minute, the parents walking right by, it's like, but wait, mommy, that man's hungry, we're just going to walk by? That doesn't make sense to a child. And so I'm saying, like, let's return to our space of humanity where we care again. Because to me, caring about anything that is about freedom and justice and liberation and humanity it's also for our own healing. You know what I mean? The more that I care about anything, the more that I spend time not just pulling down or trying to fight against, but building up. Building up. What are we building? And healing and nurturing. And we need so much healing, in general, just as Black people and just as humanity. And so I just feel like I'm going to continue to use my voice. I go to schools all the time. I travel around the country. I do motivational assemblies. And so, I talk about these things. I talk about what's important to you, what's important to you. And they talk about the things, they're going to talk about Palestine. They're going to talk about Congo. I've had students reach out to me where the administration came down on them, for using their voice, for speaking truth to power.
Right.
And it's like, and the administration knows that these children are doing the right thing, but they don't want to lose their money. So I'm just like, let this whole thing crumble. These institutions that are really not built on the right shit anyway, it's time to let it go. It's really time to let it go. These, we got banks that got their money from the slave trade. And, we as Black people want to wonder why Black people got no money? Why? It's like, well, how much wealth do you think you would have if, as a people, you were able to get your wealth off of free labor and free minerals from the raping and pillaging of a land and a people for centuries? How rich do you think you would be? You'd be quite rich.
You better tell it. You better say it.
But in the words of Bob Marley, some people are so rich, are so poor, all they have is money. Holla.
And when I heard that, I said, wait a minute, say that again?
Say it again.
That is powerful.
Money not going to save you now.
Yeah.
Money's not going to save us now. It's spirit now. It's energy. It is vibration. It is all of that. That is the currency. That is the currency of this Aquarian age, baby. Come on now.
So let me ask you, have you seen the movie Origins?
No, that is, I cannot wait to see it.
Well,
I
I'm gonna have to
cannot
see
wait
it
to see
again
it.
because it's so deep. And a few things
Wow.
about the movie, and when you talked about the interconnection. So I'm just gonna put this out there.
Okay.
The Holocaust in the movie, it talks about the Holocaust happened because of slavery. They studied slavery. So they did it. When I tell you, they did it differently.
Wow.
So then they talked about the Damlik people in India, how they're treated. And I said, wow.
Mm.
I said, I wonder if they are of darker skin. And in the movie, they showed the stuff that they had. I was like, wow.
Amazing.
And they should have a scene in the movie. I ain't gonna tell all. They have a scene in the movie where the husband and wife, they partnered with the black husband and wife partnered with a white husband and wife. And I think it was just the black husband and wife. They wrote the book called The Deep South.
Mm-hmm.
They were in Germany and they went to the library and they went looking for some type of book, some book. I can't remember the name. And the woman kind of just brushed them off. You know how they were back in that day. Give me your ID, give me your passport, all of that stuff. And there was a man in the library that was listening. So he just listened. She never responded. So he followed him out the library and asked, well, I never heard her respond. What did she say? And then he was like, do y'all know what's going on? So he took them, it was like a bonfire. That Dalit, there it is, Dalit people. They burned 20,000 books.
Wow.
20,000 books to erase history.
Mm.
When I tell you, even that my body, and they said it's like when they say when you burn a book, you burn a person. We say, like when you don't get the history from your ancestors, it's like a library burns. It's the same thing. So it's like they erase it. So whatever the couple was looking for was in the books, and they were saying it's checked out. They never said it was coming back. So he took them to this burning. I mean, they was tossing these books, tossing 20,000 books.
Wow.
So he told them, he said, leave the country. He was like, do y'all know what's going to leave the country? So that movie is so powerful. I was like,
I can't wait to see it.
I got to see this again.
I can't wait to see it. I know I'm gonna need to see it a couple times too.
Really, it's deep. It's really the history that she put. I was like, my mouth was open.
That's incredible.
And I said, and it also what stuck with me also, Ayanna, is how people pick up different things from people. So you talk about slavery how many years ago? And like I remember growing up reading about the Diary of Anne Frank. And in the 9th grade, 10th grade, I'm thinking this was ages ago. And when you look at this in the 40s.
Exactly.
The 40s.
Not long ago at all.
So they study something that was hundreds of years ago and call themselves using that. And let me tell you something.
It's deep.
So people don't see the connection. The
interconnectedness of all of it.
Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Yes, it do.
It does.
Yes, it do.
It really does.
So I wanted to share that with you. But absolutely, thank you so much for your stance, for showing up, and more of us. It's so when we were growing up, me and my sisters, we would talk about. My mom would have us at protests. We would have to help campaigns, all of that. So people, I'm like it's in me, and that's one thing I would say. Like in DC. You show up and show out. What you
show
doing?
Up and show exactly.
No. You going down to the mall. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You hopping on the train and you going to the mall. Like
exactly. I'm gonna be singing at Freedom Plaza just on Friday. They're having a demonstration. I'll be there. We'll be there.
We be in them streets. Yes.
We'll be in them streets.
Yes.
It makes a difference. It does. It really does.
Yes.
It makes a difference. So
tell us about your one-woman show, Daughter of the Struggle.
Yes. So Daughter of the Struggle is a one-woman play that I wrote some years back. And it's about my father. It's about his life and his relationship with Medgar Evers and Dr. King and Malcolm X, and just sort of his journey from Hollywood and him sort of giving up that whole world for activism, and for health and wellness, and just really really just, honestly giving up one thing for the other. I mean, he carried his humor, he carried all of that into everything he did, but
It's him. It's
he
him.
really did give up
Mhm.
the perks of the fame, the fortune, the whole, because they were really priming him to be, the next,
Mm.
what ultimately Bill Cosby ended up doing
Mm.
was dad was being, um, he was being vetted and prepped for that. And
Mm.
so it was clear that that was not the trajectory that he was choosing. And
Mm.
so the play deals with, sort of that. And then also from the child's perspective, what
Mm.
it was like for us coming up
Mm.
in this household that was like, in the late 60s, early 70s. You got, death threats, phone taps. So there's,
Mm.
there's funny elements of it. There's scenes where I play my sister who's teaching us how to talk to the FBI on the phone. It's like, let me show y'all how to do it. Let me hip you to gang.
How you had to do? How she show you how to do?
And she talking to the FBI, telling jokes and being silly, like, we know you
Oh, we
listening.
do this with the scammers now. Like the
That's what I'm
stuff we
talking
say
about.
to the scammers.
Exactly.
And my sister Razia turned me on to that. She'd be like, "Oh no," I'd be like, "I got gas," and they'd be like, "Huh?"
Huh? Like, wait, and you gotta look at the manual, like what to do when
What
they
you have
go.
gas?
Oh, they got time. They got time on their hands. Where we going?
Yes, so it's like, yo, yes, that is hilarious.
Yeah. So the play really is about, growing up as a child of the civil rights and human rights movement. It deals with our quirky, unique upbringing. So there's some funny stuff, funny scenes in there about just growing up as a Gregory. And then also, the scary stuff, marching down south, thinking we're going to die, guns pointed at us, all that. So it's the funny moments, it's the petrifying moments. It talks about my mom, because a lot of people who knew dad didn't really understand, like, wow, who was this woman, who was like holding them down. She
Mm,
wasn't just on the sidelines. She
mm.
wasn't just raising us, which would have been more than enough, raising 10
Right,
kids.
right.
But in addition to that, she was also on the front line. She also laid her life on the line,
Mm,
not just domestically, but internationally, because that's what a lot of people don't understand.
mm,
Dad's business was international. He was dealing with international affairs. So when,
mhm.
in the 80s, when the U.S. when there was in the time of Ayakomania, hey mama, hey mama, this one's for you. Yes, indeed. So that's my EP, Mama. This one's for you. For anybody who wants to check
And
that
that
out,
song, so I
all
sent
my
it
stuff
to
is
my
online
mom.
and easy to find.
It's beautiful, and I sent that song to my mom, and she said, "Thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank you."
thank you.
Yes.
But they, so there's a scene that I talk about in the play where my mom, during the Vietnam War in
Mm-hmm.
1969, my
Mm-hmm.
parents were in London, and
Mm-hmm.
some friends of theirs gave them some footage of the My Lai massacre. And for those who don't know, that's footage of innocent men, women, and children in South Vietnam being killed, being murdered by U.S. Army soldiers. So of course the United States government was trying to keep that, suppressed. So here come Dick Gregory, who's trying to crack it all the way open. And
Mm-hmm.
he gave it to my mother. He gave the footage to my mother. There
Mm-hmm.
had already been assassination attempts on his life. He
Mm-hmm.
gave the footage to my mother, who flew by herself with this highly coveted footage for which she knew she could have been killed. And she
Mm-hmm.
flies, from London to Paris, Paris to Montreal, Montreal to Toronto, Toronto to Chicago. The
Mm-hmm.
United States government, now they find out this footage is in the hands of the Gregory family. So the government has to break the story because they don't want him to break the story.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lillian Gregory, this quiet Black woman that did that. So that's in the play. There's music, of course I'm a singer first. So there's music and movement. And it's really just, it's a story of courage,
Mm-hmm.
of one family. And really, there's a lot of focus on from the young, seeing these things, seeing the movement and movements from
Mm-hmm.
a child's perspective.
Right.
So the beautiful thing is, we in the audience, we get old folk, young folk, everybody. And so afterwards we do a Q&A, and a lot of times, if somebody came with their mother or grandparents, they or father or uncle, they'll start to hear the
Mm-hmm.
elder speak, And sometimes that elder has not shared that story. And that's why I say, tell your story. It's one thing for our children to listen and learn and read about things in a book. It's another thing, another thing to have living, breathing history in their own bloodline that can talk about the struggle for liberation, their journey to self-determination, their journey, just to for dignity, And so when they hear those stories coming from their own kin, they're like, Grandma, Granddaddy, you never told us that. So then it sparks like this conversation of we get to tell our stories. So my story is not any more important than your story. So when you gonna tell yours? So I like that it kind of morphs into afterwards conversations where folks are talking and the young folks are like, oh, dang, Granddaddy, you was off the chain. I didn't know you did all that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You ain't tell us none of that. So it's that. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be doing it in Silver Spring at a place called Leisure World. Leisure World is a
retirement home. That's rich.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna be doing it at Leisure World at the theater. So
I know a few people. I didn't even know they had it. No, they do, because I actually did. They have a whole banquet spot.
Yeah.
Because they're part of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did an event there. That's very no. I'm thinking about what's the name. I'm in Upper Marlboro. I know Leisure World had
Leisure World has So Leisure World in Silver Spring. Yeah. So on Saturday, March 23rd, for anybody in the DMV or trying to come to the DMV for it, I'll be performing, and I haven't done it in DC in a while. And actually, my mom will be coming for that. She'll actually be there. We're gonna.
Hey, Mama Lillian.
Mama Lillian will
be. She is Sagittarius, honey. She quiet when she sleep, maybe.
Yes, indeed. She's like, I done my work.
I'm a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, I got another funny story I just thought of. So, Brother Bay, may he rest in peace. Were you at his homegoing service?
Oh, was I?
Let me explain something to you, Ayanna.
She said, "Let me explain something to you."
Not explain. Let me explain something to you.
Let me explain something to you. Wait a minute.
Your father showed his ass at that funeral.
He did. He sure enough did.
He told
Dick Gregory showed his ass at that funeral.
Let me tell you something. I was so inspired. First of all, I was in shock.
Have you ever heard that much laughter at a funeral in your entire natural life?
Let me tell you something. This is a stand-up special that they did. When I tell you he showed his natural ass.
He showed his whole natural ass.
When he talked about Brother Bay, he talked about Brother Bay's daughter. He was like, don't even get up and speak at my funeral. He was like, because you don't know what to say. You talk too much. He talked about when Mama Kathy Hughes used to call and say, hi, Brother Bay, you heard from Brother Bay. He said, so that time he called, he said, God forgive me, he said, the nigga finally did.
Out of control.
Yo, let me tell you, when I tell you he showed out at this funeral,
he really did.
No, Ayanna, and I know he did over an hour.
You know he did.
And the place was packed and people was waiting to get in. He showed out.
Yes, he did.
The only other person that showed out after him was Mike Brooks at Chuck Brown's show. Me and Eddie Bryan, a comedian, DC, we was laughing about this last week. Let me tell you something. If you ain't, and this as a comedian, it's like to be able to bring people together at that type of time and laugh like that, like in your gut.
Yeah.
That lets you know, like, this is the greatest gift. You know what I'm saying? Laughter. When I tell you he cut up, he talked about Brother Bay in the van. Oh my God. It was so many. My dad is in Jersey. I told my dad, I said, Dad, this is the best funeral I've been to. I guess he was like, how in the hell is it the best funeral?
Just that sound bite, the best. Like, wait.
He was cussing in the church and everything. I was like, Dick Gregory off the hook. I said, look, as the Caribbean people say, he ain't got no manners. He ain't got no brought up. Yo, he is dope. So that is just a blessing that you chose him as your dad.
Aishah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
That is just so beautiful. And I know that you make him proud and your mommy proud. And I'm sure that she misses him.
She does. Oh, she misses him every day.
Yeah.
We keep pictures of him up all over the apartment. Yes. And she just hearing her talk, it's just like a love story all over again. And her memory, her long-term memory is so good. So her recollection of their life and our life and just is a blessing as she recollects and tells stories. And it's really a blessing.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Give thanks. And then for my
Mm-hmm.
50th birthday, when you came on, we were pandemicing. So I had my Zoom birthday celebration. And my sister
Yeah.
Razia, bless her heart, she was like, Aisha, she was like, so I'm going to plan your 50th birthday party on Zoom. Who you want there? I was like, Ayanna Gregory got to sing happy birthday.
Oh!
That was the coolest. And you was singing, and then your nieces and nephews, they was right there like, your niece, they was like, yeah, we in this too.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then when I put the picture up, when I put this picture up, they was like, Brandon, they went off. You
Yeah, we
hear
know
me?
him. We know
Yes,
him.
they were excited.
They were.
So thank you so much. You
Of
just so dope.
course.
You so dope. But you come from dopeness. Okay.
Thank you. You dope, sister.
Thank you. You inspire me. You inspire me.
Wow.
So you know
Thank
I need
you.
you to hit a little Phoenix.
You know what? It's when you said it earlier, I was like, shoot, she did tell me that before. Now, Phoenix is a song I ain't sung in like 10 years.
Okay,
So I
sing
was
now. Sing something. That
okay, okay,
now
okay, okay.
song. That now
Okay.
song.
Let me think of a little piece of Phoenix though, just for
Okay.
the hook. Hold
You want to play it with
on. Ooh.
you? Look at that pretty girl.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna sing just a piece of the hook.
Okay.
Rise up from the ashes and soar. Your destiny is waiting upon the highest mountain. You go with God as your guide. Rise up on the ashes and soar, 'cause life is so much more. And in the end, you know this, right?
You
I
better
know,
go.
I know I fucked up some of the lyrics, but you
No,
know, you got the
that's fine.
you
It was
got
good
the
with me.
feeling. You
And I
got
had
the
a little. I had a
feeling.
few of them. I was like, yep, that
You
part.
got
That part right there. I think that that song is so powerful because it's just basically like when you're down and out and you just rise, stay the course,
Just rise, stay the
stay the
course.
course, stay the course. And then that noun song. Let me explain something to you.
Yes,
Let me that
yes.
right there. That song right there is so powerful because we're in this time just with the whole dating situation. And then when you speak about, I was like, we was like, they was giving me what I was putting out and how we have to
Yes.
shift who we are.
Yes,
You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? We have to shift. And my thing is, we have to turn away from everything that we don't want
Yes.
so we can get what we want. And that's it.
What we want.
That's it.
That's it.
Everything. Say
That's it. And
no.
be in the moment.
My big thing is no, thank you. I don't eat pork.
There you go.
I don't want that.
That
Yep.
I want that. I'm good. My
Yep.
dad, speaking of now, um, I mean, I know there's a number of ways that we can say this same statement, but the way he said it, I loved it.
I know some slick shit. Go ahead.
You know it was. I was on my way to India and he said, "Oh, okay." So, and he's the master. He's like the master of world traveler. And so
Mhm.
world traveling and just understanding the ways of the universe. So I said, Daddy, I'm going to India. You got any advice for me? He said, Oh, no, no, baby girl. You got it, daughter. And he said, so you going to the Taj Mahal? I said, yeah, I'm excited, get to see one of the wonders of the world. And he said, mm-hmm. He said, just remember one thing. If you don't take it with you, you
Mm.
won't find it there.
I remember that. I remember you shared it before. Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm.
piece was so much of what the essence of my song now is about.
Mm-hmm.
We be trying to run from shit. Oh, I'm gonna go. Even me times where I'm like, oh, I just need to get to Jamaica, and I'll be damned if that thing didn't follow me all the
Let
way
me
to
tell you
Jamaica.
something. And this is what my mother, and she said this since we were young. Everywhere you go, there you are.
There you are. Woo!
So you be running from your damn self, and you right there. Why
There
you?
you go. There you go.
You don't even need the mirror. Just turn around, look. You feel you. You in
You
you.
feel you. Yes.
Everywhere you go, there you are. Keep living.
That piece. So
Mm-hmm.
that really is the essence of the song now.
Wow.
And that is a song, that is the gift that keeps giving, honestly. That song was gifted to me by the Most High. I
Mm.
wrote it. I mean, I can't really say I wrote it. It came through me at a time where
Download.
I was in deep
Mm.
emotional pain. A relationship had ended. I was at ground zero. And I just was, when you like feeling bad and you feeling bad that you're feeling bad, like, how could you
Mm.
get here? How could,
Mm.
you inspire other people and work with young people to do better and be better. And and be dignified, and how could you have such a low sense of your own worth to have gotten involved in a relationship that like this, where you feel like you weren't valued, and how did this happen to you? So there's all this sadness and then judgment on top of the sadness, like how did I get here? And it just came like it's all a reflection of, when I say of you, I don't mean that this is who you are. I mean, this is how you've been showing up. This is what he gave. This is what you gave. This is what she was giving you. That doesn't mean that's who you are.
Right.
There's your essence and there's how you show up. So if you want your essence to be reflected in how you show up, you got to move different, and then you're going to attract different, and then let's just have some fun with it. Because everywhere you go, there you are.
You better say it, y'all.
Come on now.
You better say it, Reverend Thunder.
You know what I'm saying?
You better say it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that.
And the ladies in the chat, like, I felt that in my soul, Shondell. Shondell is one of my friends from 15. Like, we still sleep in the bed together when we see each other.
I love it.
Like, when we used to sleep in the bed, her mother used to be like, don't sleep head to toe. It's bad luck. They got these, don't sleep head to toe.
I love it.
So she's in the chat. That is just so awesome. My cousin Sabina is in the chat from Jersey. They just showed up. So we're gonna close with now. But hold on, Ayanna. Okay. So we got to tell people how to get in contact with you, how to book you, how to get coaching, whatever mentoring you're giving for self-esteem, your assemblies that you do with schools, corporations, because they need it too.
Yes.
How we reach you, sister?
So if you want to check out my stuff first, just go to my website, which is ayannagregory.com. And Ayanna is, as you can see, Ayanna, and Gregory, Gregory. You can go right to the website, and there's different pages. There's a page that says motivational. There's a page that says daughter of the struggle. There's a page that says music. So my stuff is easy to find. If you're interested in booking me, you can send an email to booking@ayannagregory.com. And that means if you want me to come to your school, if you want me to speak at your conference, if you want me to do some healing music sessions, because that's also a powerful thing that I do. And sometimes I do it with my sister Free. Yes, indeedy. And I hope she's listening.
She was on. She's on. I popped it up.
Okay. Hey, Free. Yeah, we do everything together.
They don't.
So booking at ayannagregory.com, you can inquire about anything. So yeah, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm I do a lot of school assemblies at all, from kindergarten through high school. I speak at a lot of colleges. I do, social justice work. So, a lot of conferences that deal with, equity, equality of any kind, social justice, human rights, civil rights, all of that. And then the spiritual work, a lot of musical healing work, vibrational things. There's a lot of depression that we're dealing with, so a lot of times I do sessions around just how to relax at a time where our sensory, so much we're being so oversensitized in many ways in a negative way, or just, in a way, even if it's not negative, sometimes it's just the body needs a break. We need to be off the grid. So helping us to understand how to breathe and how to just, lean into just the stillness.
Be still.
Sometimes
just don't know what to be still.
Sometimes just need to be still.
Sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
No, for real. Just sometimes I say to myself, sit your ass down.
Absolutely.
Twice. Just sit there.
Just sit there.
Now, the other day I was thinking, I was like, Aisha, I was like, you have to sit in the tub. Like, you need to get in the tub.
Yes. Ooh, sitting in a bathtub.
Let me tell you something. When you used to take baths and you don't, your body start aching.
Look, y'all, take you a bath, light you some candles, put some essential oil, put a little lavender, a little lemongrass, a little geranium.
I put frankincense and myrrh because my spirit sometimes.
Ooh, I love me some frankincense and myrrh.
Honey, I have my love quartz and my clear
meditation
quartz.
music.
Okay, my higher stuff. Let me know who I need to release.
It makes a difference.
Including me.
I swear for God, it makes a difference. It really does. Exactly.
Sit your ass down twice.
That's
a t-shirt. Sit your ass down twice.
I like that. You need to do that.
For real, because we have to be still. A lot of times we're saying it's something outside of ourselves, but it's us. Because if we don't pay attention to it, It ain't gonna happen. I was talking to my cousin JR today, and I told you this earlier, and he was talking about social media. And he said, I don't go to social media to eat. I go to social media to feed. Because a lot of times we're going there to get something, and we need to be depositing. Then also with the deposit, sometimes you got to watch what people deposit, and you don't need that information. Sometimes you be like, no, I'm good. Thank you. But no,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Because everybody now know everybody's business and they can give advice. Okay.
Yes, indeedy.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So absolutely. Thank you for your yes, my sister.
Thank you, sister. And can I remind everybody again, if you're interested in seeing Daughter of the Struggle, I'll be doing it March 23rd at Leisure World in Silver Spring, Maryland. But you can just go on to don't go to my website for that information. Just go to my social media, IG. I'm easy to find, Instagram, Facebook. I'll be posting flyers about that. Again, that Saturday at Leisure World. It'll be probably like a 7 p.m. show, but I'll be putting that information out on my social media. But it's been, sis, I love you.
I love you too. I appreciate you. We're going to close on now. Let me tell you something, y'all. I need y'all to listen to these words. Then I need y'all to go every place where music is sold and purchase. Ayanna has, I'm going to run down while we're doing this. I'm going to run down because we got a list of, Ayanna, you have like 6 albums? We're going to run them down. Hold on, because I got them. You ain't got to know them. I know.
Okay. I was like, wait, do I got 6 though?
Is it 6, 7? Don't hold on. Let me find. I got my list.
I did my homework.
Hold on. So we got Ayanna. Okay, so we have Beautiful Flower 2003, Ballad for My Dad, tribute to Dick Gregory 2007, Now, which we're about to play 2011, I Dream a World 2013, and Mama This One's for You 2014, The Flower Song 2021, and Life is Calling You 2022. So some of them might be singles also.
Some are singles. And actually the last single, which was just released in January, is called Ceasefire. So everybody go to YouTube and just type in Ceasefire, Ayanna Gregory. It's a really nice video that's with that.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So all right, Ayanna, thank you for your yes. We're gonna leave out of here with Now. Listen to the words. And look, if it ain't with you, you ain't gonna find it nowhere else.
Come on, girl.
Ayanna Gregory on this music, so don't try to pull it down, YouTube.
Always play the victim role to satisfy my need to be right. Always feeling so alone, neglected by the men in my life. Well, they were just doing what I wanted. See, they were just giving what I gave. But now I want the real thing. So let it be a new path I take. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Afraid of my destiny. Who am I to live too big? The universe keeps blessing me. But every single time I renege, filled with insecurity, sabotaging royalty, planned mediocrity, yeah. Self-fulfilled prophecy, afraid to let them see. Who is she?
Who is she?
I know that I want more. What am I waiting for? I think I'm ready now. Forget what they told me. World can't hold me. You know that you want more. What are you waiting for? I think you're ready now. Forget what they told you. World can't hold you now. Well, I choose a different path now. I choose the higher road. I don't have to be right no more. 'Cause in the end, only God knows. All I am is dust in the wind, and I'll return again. Freedom has made me sure, and this time I'm seeking more. Yeah, I need more, more and more and more and more. So now I'ma face my fears. I'm not gonna close my eyes. I stand naked before you. You see, I release my disguise. Baby, now that I'm free. Baby, now that I'm free. Baby, now that I'm free, yeah, I can fall in love with me, yeah. I can fall in love with me, yeah, yeah. Love me, I can love me. I know that I want more. What am I waiting for? I think I'm ready now. They told me, can't hold me. You know, you want more. What are you waiting for? I think I'm ready now. What they told you, world can't hold you now. What are you afraid of? It's your time to shine. There is no gift greater than now. Right now, right now, right now. Oh, I know that I want more. What am I waiting for? I think I'm ready now. They told me, can't hold me. You know, you want more. What are you waiting for? I think I'm ready now. What they told you, world can't hold you now. Smiling now, I feel forever. Golden heart light as a feather. Finally ready now. Don't need to know how. Let go, breathe, enter into the smiling now. I feel forever. Golden heart light as a feather. Finally ready now. Don't need to know how. Let go, breathe, enter into the now. I will find joy, just remember. Your happiness lives within the. Let go, breathe, enter into the now. They told the now can't hold me. You will find joy, just remember. What your happiness lives within the. Let go, breathe, enter into the now. They told the now can't hold the now.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a way to rest tonight. That is the word. It's so powerful.
Thank you
That's
so
a
much.
reminder of who and whose we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can I share something real quick?
Yes.
I just looked at a message from Free, and she wanted me to give the phone number for anybody who wanted to inquire about the show on the 23rd. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's not a chat I can put in. Oh, no. So let me just
You
say
can go ahead and put it. I'm gonna type it, and then let me tell you something. Katanya, so dope. She ready right now. She's waiting for you.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Katanya. Okay. So this is so the number is 301 598 1320.
And that's Leisure World, March 23rd.
Yeah, let me make sure I get that right. 598-1320. That's Leisure World. Yeah, so that's Daughter of the Struggle at Leisure World, Saturday, March 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
March 23rd at 7 p.m.
All right, and then I'm putting it in the chat. I told you Katanya was waiting for you.
Thank you, Katanya.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Hi, Free. Thank you. So everyone, I want to thank y'all so much for checking us out in real time and later on time. This is on YouTube. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Go get Ayanna Gregory's music, something that's going to give you a high vibration all the time. Okay, and if you want to book her for any special events that you have going on, please do that. All right, so I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful night. Ayanna, rest well. Peace and blessings. Hug your Sagittarius
Ooh,
mama
April,
for
hey,
me. You know
I
April,
will.
right?
Yes, I love
That's
her.
my
Hey,
baby, April.
sis.
Crazy. Now, April, another crazy one. Ayanna, I'm gonna say this real quick. I don't know if you do the stuff we do, but we play on people's phone. So, so I told April and Nikki Moore that next time I come home, we're gonna play on people's phone. I might look in the yellow pages and call Reverend Thunderbird.
You know what? You would just need to. And she gonna be timing them for you.
We
She
play,
gonna
but
be
we
timing them.
respectful. We ain't disrespectful. We just be playing to get them a little hype and agitated.
Just a little hype,
little hype and a little agitated. Because I'm definitely calling my mother. But they
Oh,
gonna be me. I'm
God.
definitely calling Geraldine. We call her.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
But yes, April was my. She's like, yes, she ready.
Oh my Lord.
You know, let me tell you about a good friend April is. I had a colonoscopy a few weeks ago, and she said, "Girl, you good?" I said, "I'm good." I said, "I'm good."
That's what she said.
You good? I was just checking on you. She look the day before she texted me. The day of, you good? You go? No, I'm good. Everything is well.
Everything is well.
You don't need to be in a relationship when you get in a colonoscopy. Not a new relationship.
Woo, no.
Because things and situations be happening. That's a test.
I understand that.
That's
I understand that.
So yes. All right, baby. Love you. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you. Peace and power, everybody. Thank you for watching another dope episode of I Know Dope People with Queen Aishah. Give it up for Ayanna Gregory, songstress, writer, dramatist, educator, activist, baby girl of Dick Gregory, the legendary Dick Gregory, comedian and comedian and human rights activist. Peace and power, everybody. I love and appreciate y'all. Good night.